Moving into our next story, guys, is the Game Awards. And the Game Awards just happened. It was a pretty long show. It was about 3 hours, and they did about...
Was it always 3 hours?
I don't remember it being 2.
I thought so too when we went. I don't remember it being 3. I was thinking it was going to be done by 8. This thing wasn't done until 9, and it had a bunch of world premieres. I mean, hats off to Jeff Keighley for putting this thing together. He stuffed it with guests. He stuffed it with performances. He stuffed it with world premieres. I mean, there's a reason why people wait for the Game Awards, because this is when a lot of people make announcements. But before we get into kind of the highlights and what Andrew and I took away from it, to recap the bet, Andrew and I on the last episode there's 30 categories. Andrew and I each picked 5 each, and we guessed who they were going to vote on to win. I got smoked. So the categories that I actually took were the best art direction, best RPG, best indie, best game direction, and best action adventure. And unfortunately, the only thing I was able to get right was the best RPG of the year, which happened to be Tales of Arise from Bandai Namco. Andrew almost cleaned house. So what did you vote on? Mine surprisingly was good because I was worried about mine. Best ongoing, which one was Final Fantasy 14. Best multiplayer was It Takes Two. Most anticipated, Elden Ring, of course, and I'm super glad it took
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. I completely forgot. Yeah. Best narrative was the one that I lost. Guardians of the Galaxy cleared that one. And actually, that's what I said I wanted to choose, but I thought the voters were going to go with Life is Strange. And then the final one that I won was Best Performance, which I was stoked on, which was Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. So I was super hype on that.
Yeah, so Andrew went 4-1 on me, which is, again, why I'm drinking Milwaukee's best ice. And
it's well-deserved 4-1.
It's getting warm, and it's tasting bad. But we got to tip our hat to the game of the year. We got to talk about that. Like I said in the last episode, my personal choice was It Takes Two. I thought maybe that they were going to vote on Psychonauts 2. You thought it was going to be Resident Evil?
Resident Evil Village, personally, for me, but I thought it was going to be... I can't even remember. I'd have to look. Go on, and I'll get back to you.
So, who actually ended up taking it was...
I did put Village.
It was Village?
Yeah.
Okay. Was It Takes Two, which is by Hazelight, and hats off to Joseph Fares.
Oh, no, I wanted to... I thought Dread was going to win.
Dread, that's right. Okay.
My personal one that I chose was Village.
So, again, I just got to reiterate, it's a fantastic game. I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks or so, because that's the chance I've had to play it and beat it. It's fantastic. If you guys haven't played it, definitely check it out. It's not even a full $60 game. It's on the Game Pass EA Access if you have that. If not, I believe it's only $20 or $30. So it's not a high entry point if you want to check it out. You get to play it with a friend. It just goes that Hazelight is doing something unique, and every game they make is kind of this very unique experience. What they did with Brothers, running around playing 2 players on the twin sticks, versus A Way Out, which is another cooperative game that you have to play with, and then up until It Takes Two, which is another cooperative game that just kind of explored more of what you're able to do in terms of puzzle solving and exploration. I mean, my hat's off to him, man. I have nothing but high hopes for Hazelight. He's going to be one of these guys that in the future, he's going to be
an auteur.
Whatever his next game is going to be, I'm sure most people are going to greenlight it. Or I'm curious if Sony's going to start eyeballing them, or Microsoft's going to start eyeballing them, because this studio could get bought up quick. I mean, now they got the merit to prove it and the award to back it up.
Yeah, don't quote me on this, but I think It Takes Two even comes with one of those like multiplayer passes where if you buy it, you can let someone else play with you the same way A Way Out did.
It gives you the code so that somebody else can get it for free. So if you and a friend could split it for $15 and then both get the game. So
right, which is cool.
So what Andrew and I want to do is I want to go over the highlights that they had. There's about 30 of them. We're not going to dive in each one of them. The show would be way longer than it needs to be. But after that, we will pick out a couple of the things that caught our eye and what we're looking forward to. So here's everything that was at the Game Awards that you can look forward to. The first was Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. The next was Star Wars Eclipse.
Surprised by that one.
Yeah, that was good. Wonder Woman, Alan Wake 2, Forspoken, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Halo the TV show, Elden Ring. Ooh, that beer's kicking in. Sonic Frontiers, Slitterhead, which looked really interesting. The Lord of the Rings Golem, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Among Us, Star Trek Resurgence, Arc Raiders, new creator-safe music from Riot Games, The Matrix Resurrections plus Awakens, Rumbleverse, The Expanse, a Telltale series, Tunic, Homeworld 3, Crossfire X, Nightingale, PUBG Battlegrounds, Cuphead, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie trailer, Thirsty Suitors, Dune, Spice Wars, and that's it. So a lot of stuff I think it had something for everybody. There was a lot of things in there that you could look at and go that either A was for me or B wasn't for me, or C, I'm looking forward to that and maybe I'll try it. But Andrew, we got a couple things picked out. What caught your eye first?
Well, I know we're pressed for time, but I do want to start with something that caught my eye in a negative way. The more I see that fucking Gollum game, the less I like it. I don't know who it's for or what it is, but it looks stupid.
I actually looked at it and I was like, it looks off. Gollum doesn't look right.
No, he does not.
But I still want to play. I still want to play it.
I feel like that game looks lame, but my first game that I was actually hyped for out of everything they showed was Alan Wake 2. Now, I've never played the first one, but when I was watching this trailer, it looked cool, but then hearing Sam Lake say, we're going to take this game in a survival horror direction, I love survival horror, so I'm super excited, because I know I haven't played Alan Wake, again, like I said, but I have it downloaded. It's something I need to. I always thought, I knew it was a horror game. I didn't know what kind of horror it was. I guess I wouldn't define it as survival horror, but I definitely have seen a lot of it. The way people talk about it, people rave about it, that when I was watching it and the things I've seen, I'm like, dude, I could totally see it going that way, and I'm super hyped for that. That's something I'm excited for.
Did they, and again, if anyone doesn't know, I believe Alan Wake 360 is on the pass, but they just came out with the Alan Wake remaster. So if you do want to play it, now's a good time to get familiar with it, and then you can wait for number 2. Did number 2 have a date at all?
Yeah, they did. It's 2023, loose date.
Okay, yeah, so that's coming for a minute. So the first game that caught my eye, or at least something I've been wanting to talk about for a minute, was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is being developed by Rocksteady and Warner Brothers. The date is set for 2022. I don't think they've pinpointed like a month or an actual physical date, but I gotta say, it looks a lot better than I thought it was going to look. The gameplay looked better than I thought it was going to be. And I love that they started off with kind of showing that, because obviously if you guys aren't familiar, Suicide Squad is this task force that's sent to do all these missions with Amanda Waller, and if they don't listen, she kills them. The concept of this game is that Brainiac has come to the world, and now the Justice League has been taken over. So now the Suicide Squad needs to kill them. And I like that the first thing they start off with is Flash. And they're all kind of like talking shit about him, and like, but then you start seeing what the Flash can do when he's not tethered to, his humanity. And I thought it was an excellent looking trailer. And one of the things I was kind of curious about, because I kept forgetting if it's going to be single player or multiplayer, but this is what it said. It said, and this is on Wikipedia, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a genre-bending action-adventure game set in an open world based on Metropolis. The game features 4 playable characters, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark. While it can be played solo, the game also features a 4-player cooperative multiplayer
I didn't know
mode.
that. I thought it was solo.
I forgot about that. I was thinking more of the Batman Gotham Knights as the 4-player. When played solo, players can switch between characters at will, while the other characters are controlled by the AI. So when you look at them, they all kind of have their different movement. Boomerang was kind of warping around. King Shark was crawling. Harley Quinn had the grappling hook, and then Deadshot had his jetpack. So I'm like, okay, cool. At least they're all different. They're not just kind of the same person, just with different skins on them. So now that I know that it's multiplayer, I'm even kind of more excited because I want to play more games with you.
Yeah, we should play that together. That'd be cool.
Geno and stuff like that. So this was the first big trailer we got to see of it, and I got to say, I think it looks fantastic. So
yeah, I was a little hesitant because I'm like, oh man, the movement kind of reminds me of Sunset Overdrive because you're constantly fucking moving, and I hated Sunset Overdrive. But maybe this would be a little cooler for me because it's an IP I actually care about.
Definitely.
My second game was Plague Tale Requiem. I know the game had been announced before and we've seen some stuff before, but this showed some pretty expansive gameplay. And 1, it looked beautiful, but 2, it looked really good. I actually haven't played the first one. It's on my list of games to play. I've got a huge fucking backlog, which hopefully I'm going to slam through, but this is one of those top tier ones that I need to get through. And I thought it looked really, really good. And at one point it seemed like it was almost like, not open world, but maybe I don't know, when she was going through the flowers and that whole area was like open, whereas I thought it was always, you're going through like these defined kind of shorter set piece areas and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh wow, if they're really opening it up, it looked almost like Assassin's Creed-ish, or not
like gameplay style, but like when you play Assassin's Creed, they put a lot of work into the world, like when you're going over hills, the grass, the flowers, and all that stuff, and it looks beautiful. This looked better than that.
Yeah, so I played the first Plague Tale, like I think it was either earlier this year or late last year, and 100%ed it. Fantastic game, and it's on the Game Pass if you guys are looking to play it. Don't know why I slept on it. Once I saw this, because the first one's very dark, and like Andrew's saying, it is kind of moving around. It's a certain way. You've got to influence like these rats, and then you can with like light and things like that, and then you got to sneak on guards. This one looks like it's definitely evolving. There's now she's out in the open. I mean, there was no bright, pretty pictures and skies and backgrounds in the first one, so it definitely looks like it's evolving into something. And I'm with you. It looks like they've kind of turned that into maybe a little bit more to explore and to go look around, because the first one you could kind of go look around things, but it was kind of shut off. This one looks like it's going to be a little more open, and I'm extremely looking forward to play. And it will be day and date Game Pass, so that's going to be a day one for your boy.
Yeah, that one looked beautiful, so I'm stoked for it.
Nice. The next one I wanted to talk about, guys, was Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, done by Ninja Theory, and what they just showed was what they're calling a gameplay trailer, which is what they're saying is seamless between the gameplay and the cinematics. And when you watch it, I mean, I guess you can kind of see some of it in like the running, but I don't know, there wasn't enough of it for me to feel like it was a gameplay trailer. However, it looked awesome.
It looked beautiful.
If that is what they're going to keep when you play it in terms of what I was watching, then that, dude, I would say that that's going to win already, the best looking game for whatever year it comes out, because unfortunately there was no date, and as far as I can tell, they're still in early production, so I wouldn't even put money that it's coming out next year. I'd probably say late, maybe 2023, but if anyone's played the first one, it is kind of more of a personal game. She is someone that's like hearing voices and going through something, and you don't know kind of what's real and what's false and what she's seeing and what she's projecting. But she is trying to save somebody, and I won't give spoilers away if you guys still want to play the first one before the second one. I need
to. But again, a third one for me.
Yeah, but she's holding a grudge against somebody that kills somebody, and the second one, it kind of looks like it's like kind of almost like Plague Tale. It's flipping it on its head. They're not doing the single player in the shadows storyline. It's like it's definitely a group involvement. It's definitely she's exploring. She's out to go do something. At least from what I could tell. So
the voice acting sounded crazy good, and then when she was like screaming at that thing, I was like,
dude, yeah. So that's a game that I've had my eye on. Again, that's good for me. That's another game I 100%ed when the first one came out, so I'm extremely looking forward to the second one. And now Xbox owns Ninja Theory, so this will be an Xbox exclusive, and we're finally starting to see Xbox build that stable with good game after good game. And if this comes out and it's received as well as the first one was, then they've got another ace in their pocket. So
my final game, they didn't really show too much. They just showed kind of like a little teaser trailer thing, is going to be for Wonder Woman. But the reason I'm hyped for that, actually, is because it's made by Monolith. Monolith made the Lord of the Rings, the most recent, the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. And I actually loved Shadow of War, except for the ending where you have to kind of, it gets a little bit grindy. But the gameplay, the running around, the movement, and everything like that, I could totally see that being like her movement, the way that she fights, and the things that they do. And they said they're going to bring over the Nemesis system. I don't really know where they're going to make a Wonder Woman game. If it's going to be Themyscira, is it going to be like fucking downtown New York, or
she's going to Metropolis, baby.
Wherever I don't even know where she lives outside of whatever. She's not like a Gotham gal, so I don't fucking know. But that is something I'm pretty stoked on, and it's cool to kind of see, all right, we're getting enough of Batman. We got Suicide Squad, we got Wonder Woman. Like, let's get some of these other, like, fucking players out there, because you've already got a Wolverine game coming, you already had Spider-Man coming, you've had a fucking Miles Morales game. Marvel's been killing it. Yeah, I'm glad to see DC kind of take that. All right, they're doing it. We need to get out there and get some other people out there too. It can't just be Batman.
Right. Well, yeah, because their fallback was Gotham Knights, and now they're doing
Which
Suicide
is Batman.
Squad. Yeah, and Suicide Squad was set in the Arkham universe, so
right.
This is, a spin-off of that. Yeah, I would say out of everything, man, outside of game, because like Crossfire X was going, we knew they had to show something.
That one actually looked cool.
It did. And, a lot of these other games are coming out of like sequels. There's a couple of new IP. I don't think anybody, outside of the Insiders thought there was a Wonder Woman game.
No, I never would have guessed.
So, yeah.
I would have put Superman before what. If you were to ask me what next DC game would make, I would have put like Flash or Superman, some sort of like male-led game because people typically are afraid to lead with a female for some reason. Before I would have said Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so
especially because I don't think the last movie did that great either.
I know that compared to the first one, it definitely dipped. So I gotta say though, it looked good, and once we see something that's bigger than a teaser, we can kind of see. You saw that?
Yeah.
So my final game that I wanted to talk about was Star Wars ECLIPSE. Now that
was a big surprise.
Yeah,
we watched that together. Actually,
yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure on a headset. This is done by Quantic Dream. There is no release date yet. It's to be announced. But this is a studio that did Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and one of the crazy things is now that EA is done, or not the only one making Star Wars games, because that IP has been locked behind them for like over a decade, I believe. We're starting to see more Lucasfilms and Disney do more like games that are not just the typical swing a lightsaber. Because if you're familiar with Quantic Dream, most of their games are kind of like choose your own decision and then see which way the story goes.
I would say they're next level what Telltale is, without the jank, without all the bullshit and everything, graphically looking better than some like weird cell shaded thing. I really wonder if this one's gonna end up as a PlayStation exclusive. This is my big question.
Yeah, I'm curious on that as well, because one of the things I liked that I wanted to point out, and this is on StarWars.com if you guys want to read about it, it says, as the first video game to be set in the era of the High Republic, the multimedia initiative that launched with publishing early this year, Star Wars ECLIPSE will feature an original story and unique new characters, each with their own paths, abilities, and roles to play in the tapestry of events that could alter the carefully balanced piece in an uncharted section of the Outer Rim. So that paragraph alone just gives me like hope. New characters, new storyline, uncharted place in the Outer Rim. Like it's not just going to be like Jedi Fallen Order that squeezed its way in to fit in between, certain episodes. Like we're finally getting studios making more Star Wars games.
Take fucking liberties with this rich story that you have. Please. Like do your own thing.
And it's going to be obviously set kind of more in the past. There's
I think Jedi. The past is more not important, but more impressive than
there's more you can do. Yeah, let's not be stuck in the Skywalker saga. So this I think is one first of many Star Wars properties that we're going to start seeing coming out, and I'm extremely looking forward to this. The trailer didn't show a whole lot, but it showed enough. It kind of shows the droids. It shows the Yoda-like character, and you can tell that it's definitely going to have like some dark elements to it, but which direction they're going to go with it. Clearly, like the way Quantic Dream does games, it's going to be your decision. But I think a lot of people got to temper their expectations, because it shouldn't be a traditionally lightsaber wielding type of game.
Yeah, I wouldn't
exactly.
Want that.
And some people don't want to play those type of games. Not every game needs to be Jedi Fallen Order or Force Unleashed. This could be something that fits a whole different brand of gamers that like Star Wars, that don't like the heavy action adventures.
Yeah, give me that narrative, baby.
Yeah, I think it's overdue for us to get Star Wars games that aren't in the traditional Skywalker saga and lightsaber swinging. So
yeah, I'm kind of tired of everything being set like after the downfall. I want to see when like the Sith and the Jedi were both thriving. Like you have this big fucking war. You read about it in books. You always see it in like material. They make commercials and like weird shit showing all this stuff. Like, why am I not playing any of it? Why am I not watching like a TV show that's all about that? It's always all about Anakin and everything after the downfall of that. I'm like, dude, that's the least interesting, because not even are all the cool people gone, but even the technology like regressed. You don't see any of that cool shit that you don't see anything like the closest things like Cloud City, maybe.
Maybe. So we aren't going to do riffs on this episode, because what we just kind of highlighted with our games were kind of the riffs of what we wanted to talk about. So the episode is stretching a little bit long, but we will answer one last question, because it did have to do with the Game Awards, and that is, so let's move into questions of the week. And this comes from Jamie Lorison, who asks, what did you guys think about the new Sonic trailer? I thought it looked great, and Knuckles looks awesome. I was watching this trailer and I instantly was like, okay, I'm glad they did a number one to kind of set the tone, but like, this is what a Sonic movie should look like. Not only the fact that Dr. Robotnik finally looks something like Dr. Robotnik. I love that he came down in the egg-looking ship to now get the name Eggman, because I'm sure that's what they're gonna do. But the moment you saw Knuckles, I was just like, holy shit. Like,
that
this is
was
going to be
dope as fuck.
And then the throwback to Sonic 3 on Sega Genesis with Tails flying the red airplane, going into it. I'm like, dude, this is how you do subtle references to old school video games so that the old school fan goes, yes, I know what that is. And then new school fans can be like, oh, that looks really cool. I don't know. Everything about this trailer, I absolutely love. There was not one bad thing I can think of.
Jim Carrey looks great. I love the mustache, but the moment that got me too was when Knuckles he's like, oh, you're never gonna take. He's like, what makes you think I need your power? And he fucking throws him off. And I was worried about how Idris Elba would sound, but I think it fits perfectly. I think it sounds really good. Sound
too, because Idris Elba is one of those guys that can have that powerful, deep voice, especially when he does Shere Khan in the Jungle Book movie.
Yeah.
But then this one sounds like just, I don't want to say like a kid or a bully, but like I don't want to say watered down, but like softer. You know what I mean? It matches
soft but powerful.
It matches Sonic's kind of reflection, and it's the loud kind of kiddish, and then him just being like, "Who says I need your power?" I was just like, "Whew." I'm looking forward to it.
I just don't get it because I saw the Resident Evil movie and I liked it.
Here we
have
go.
my reservations, but
I'll take a drink.
I just don't fucking get how you can make something more perfect out of Sonic the Hedgehog than you can with Resident Evil. I just don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
They obviously took a page out of Nintendo's book following Detective Pikachu. There's something there that clicks. There's something that doing soft CGI with your main characters
I want another Detective Pikachu.
And then doing a live action works. We're seeing that with Sonic. We're seeing that with Pikachu. I'm with you though. I mean, how Resident Evil couldn't have been better, I'm not sure of. And then Sonic is coming out, and looking at that trailer, everyone's like, holy shit.
Like, this looks badass. I haven't seen one bad comment.
Not only does it look like what we're getting from old school video games, but it looks like the correct direction it would move forward with the storyline. So, I don't know. Extremely looking forward to it. And thank you for the question. If you guys ever wanted to submit questions for us to answer on the show, just drop them in the comments on our YouTube channel. But